Should I be anxious about that?
Well, no, because
Yeah, the eye
the
companion is just something that will provide a written summary afterwards, but it's really not very good. And it can help if you want a written summary. I can give a written summary in a way, but then I have to work on it.
Yeah. No, human intelligence is so much better.
Yeah.
I, most I have experienced of AI is I would just wish it would go away.
I have to tell you, I am quite in love with a lot of aspects of AI.
Oh, good.
I
If you
am,
have a lot of data to summarize or something, I can see that
well,
could
not
be
only
useful.
that, I'm severely dyslexic. For me to write
Uh,
something, I do, and then to make sure that it's just what it needs to be in a linear way, it
uh-huh.
it will take me hours and hours and hours, or my husband. So now I have my AI companion that can help me
Oh,
edit
good.
and polish, and then I go back and I still put my own work in it. I mean, I put
Yeah,
my own work in it, polish it, and
right.
then so all I'm saying, I don't think AI is all terrible. I think that
No,
we, yeah,
yeah. But when it when you don't want it, it's just annoying to have it pop up right in
yes,
front of your nose, and I keep trying to find ways to disengage it. But it's interesting to hear, what it is useful for. I'm sure there are various things that I have a nephew who swears by it also. So,
yeah, yeah. There's always good and bad in things. We just have to
mhm,
find that balance. Hello,
yeah,
everyone. How y'all doing? Jennifer, we have to continue meeting like this. Jennifer,
agreed.
I would love that. Jennifer was in my workshop as well as John yesterday, so I got to see their smiling faces. So, all right, it's 4 o'clock. Laura, you want to say hi?
Yes. Hi, welcome everybody.
Thanks.
Our form this time is not nearly as difficult as last time. You'll be glad to hear.
I am always glad to hear that.
For some of us, it's 1 o'clock.
Yes,
It,
for me it's 1 o'clock.
Yes, me too.
Okay.
yes, we're all over the, well, I don't know. Is there anyone in the Midwest? I don't think so. You're in the Midwest? Well, there you go. Then we have anyone from out of the country? I know I've asked this before, I just don't remember. Oh, okay. All right. Laura, I can't seem to find my schedule, but that's okay. I know that I will start with in the vast, unmeasured worldwide
Would
space.
places. Yes.
All right. Y'all know it by now, right? Want to join me?
Yep.
Good. All right. So I invite you to stand up if you'd like to. Let's get this. There we go. And sorry. Okay. So I am going to find my breath and my feet. I invite you to do it as well with an FSSH. Jennifer, did you find it interesting that Dietrich's is different? It's also for a different purpose. So, but we'll do my way. So, but I did love his image of this bubble. It's a lovely bubble all around you, filled with color. And as the sounds move down around you, I envisioned the color just sparkling around. So let's do that. Good. We'll do it 2 more times. Make sure that you're completely filled everywhere. And one more time. Good. In the vast, unmeasured worldwide spaces. Ready to do it with me? In the vast,
Vast,
unmeasured
unmeasured
worldwide
worldwide
spaces.
space.
Good. You know what? I think I'd like to do it from behind me. So I'm going to move a little bit and let's do it from back here. Let it come forward. In the vast, unmeasured worldwide spaces.
Space.
Good. In the endless stream of time.
The endless stream of time.
In the depths of human soul life.
In the depths of
Mm.
human
Of
soul.
human soul life.
In the world's great revelation.
In the
World's great revelations.
Seek the unfolding of life's great
Great
mystery.
mystery
Seek the unfolding
of life's great mystery.
Now I'm going to give you a little assignment that if you would like to take up. For that last line, seek the unfolding of life's great mystery. If you fold laundry, or even if you don't, find a pile of clothes and make sure they're folded and unfold them. And as you're unfolding, unfold, right? Seek the unfolding. So you're unfolding and then put a surprise in the middle of it. I don't know, maybe a chocolate. Seek the unfolding of life's great, oh, and then you get that chocolate mystery. Okay. Okay. All right. I really don't have my schedule, Laura, so you're going to have to lead us through the time thing because I can't find mine.
So now it's time to just put color on the form that we did last time. So if you can find your form and then draw it again just by tracing, like putting up a piece of white paper on top of the form you've already done and just, trace over it. So you're not, struggling to draw it again. You're just tracing it. And then we'll trace it in color. And really, there will only be a possibility of two colors because there are only two lines in this form, which seems a little unbelievable when you look at it, but really that inner one, as you know, is all one line. So you could have two separate colors, one for the square and one for that inner line. Okay, and remembering that when you weave the line, which is the way that it came, it is very incarnating. So go ahead and weave it if you would like. If you are an older person, you might wish not to do that, but it is up to you. So yeah. And then once you do get the colors on the old form, you may want to work with those, even though we're not in February anymore, or we're not working with the Aquarius form anymore. That is for class, but you might wish to do that anyway. Since you're just now putting the colors on. And it is important that you choose colors that you like, that speak to you right now. I'm just using colors that I like, but you don't need to use those unless you really like them for yourself. And as you can see, I'm not weaving mine this time. I'm going to trace it again.
This is Anne. May I ask a question?
Of course.
You said, I wasn't here last time, but I did make it out. Thank you, John, for sending that out. You said it doesn't matter where you start, and then you changed it and you said, actually, you should start here. And you did it then clockwise, whereas when you demonstrated it, you did it counterclockwise. So could you say something about whether it matters or not? I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't know why I would say it. It doesn't really matter where you start because you end up going through the whole thing several times. So from that point of view, it really doesn't matter. When I'm given the forms, usually I'm shown a place to start, and so that's generally where I start. When I am drawing the form, I don't necessarily follow those rules because sometimes drawing it, I'm just trying to get the form down, and it's easier for me to do it one way or another than the way that one should trace it. So that might be why I said that. So often, not always, but often, I will draw the form in a way that we're not going to trace it. The tracing is the therapeutic thing. The drawing is just getting it down on paper. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sort of. So where, I'm sorry, I was coloring. I didn't see where you started. Where would you recommend we start this form?
Well, I started here in the corner, right here. Well, actually the first line is the square around and it goes clockwise. And then this form, the inner form, is the second one, and I start here. And then just it takes me all the way around if I just follow that line.
Thank you.
Sure.
It's looking more and more like a diamond in the center instead of a circle.
It should. It should not look like a circle.
Huh. Mine does.
Well, you have 4 lines crossing each other, so it wouldn't be a circle. It might be a fat diamond. That's kind of what mine looks like. A rounded diamond, but it wouldn't be a circle. So when we draw forms in different colors, we are drawing forms for that will land in a sense and shape the part of ourselves where the etheric and the astral meet and the ego sheath is formed, which is different from that inmost being. The inmost being is strengthened by doing the forms in that blue color, the blue that has no green. And so now that we're placing not forms, colors on the form, we're in a way, we're really doing a different, we're affecting a different part of ourselves. How many people were able to work with this form and the verse at the same time, like tracing it and then thinking through the verse, John and Mona? Cool.
No.
No. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I was actually very unhappy with my drawing at first, so I did it again to make it like really symmetrical or something, and to the
Okay.
liking, I don't know. And then it helped a lot
Great. Yeah.
because I wanted to visualize the whole thing.
Mhm.
And so, and I was wondering how many of you actually worked with the verse while you're still coloring. Were you able to do, Mona? Anybody else work with the verse? Me some jazz hands? Yeah. I got some jazz hands there. Good.
I had an interesting experience. After our last class, the next day, oh my gosh, I was reading the Farmer's Almanac, and I came across a fact. It gives like interesting facts in the back that the average person speaks 13,349 words per day. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is a perfect fact for this month. So I really tried to keep that number in my mind and try to say, like, just silently, don't speak so many words. And in relation to this verse, and I just observed other people speaking. And I just thought, wow, this is a really powerful verse.
That's wonderful. And we will say it again. 13,000, tell me the number again.
13,349 words per day. I'm sorry, I don't have the page number, but it's in the back.
That's okay. I'm just going to write down per day. I mean, from the Farmer's Almanac. I kind of love this.
Oh, that's
That
funny.
it's fantastic. It's fantastic. And how many of those words are conscious
Yeah.
and are lifted up or embodied?
Mm.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's your guess?
Oh, very little.
Mm.
I don't know what percentage or even what number I would put it on, but people, I mean, even those of us who study speech and work with speech all the time, um, it's very hard to do that, to lift it up to a consciousness and embody it. I think that if you study speech, you study and you work with exercises and you work with sounds and imagination, and so then it just like music, you just kind of sing it in a way. But people who haven't worked with it or it don't have a natural, like if anybody knows Jack Petrash, he's just like embodies sounds, right, Judy? He does. He's the
Yes.
best storyteller. It's just natural in him. And there are some people like that. But I think they're few and far between.
When my husband started losing his hearing and would ask me to repeat what I just said, very often I found myself repeating something like, yeah, or mm-hmm, or something. And it made me realize how much we say that wasn't worth saying in the first place. And it really changed my speech habit at that time.
Interesting. Yeah. So, how about each everybody take a line um from sure, last week. Um and because I think most of you should be finished drawing, are you? Except for Jennifer, who takes her time so beautifully. It's a wonderful thing, Jennifer.
Is this the what lacks limits that we're doing?
Yes,
Okay.
limit. Yes. And
Okay.
I have two versions here. Yeah, the limited offer yourself to the limitless. I think that's the
Right.
translation we ended up doing. Yeah. So, let's see. Mona, would you mind starting that? Just to do the first line?
Sure. Limited. Offer yourself to the limitless.
Beautiful. And I think that I would like this. If you can look at this sun, can you look at the sun and now say it to the sun?
Limited. Offer yourself to the limitless.
Beautiful. Did you all hear how her voice changed? John and I were
Mm.
talking about that. We don't want to listen to ourselves, but if you bring your attention to an object outside of you, you start to learn to free your voice. And that's what one of the things that creative speech is about, freeing your voice. Then it becomes objective, and then you can live into the sounds and the imagination and the movement. But this is a great trick. It's one of my magic tricks. And so we have this limited. I mean, and your limitless really did, just like the sun. Beautiful. Okay. Jennifer, I'm gonna put you on the spot again. Can you do the second line? And you can talk to the sun after you know what you're gonna say.
What lacks limits may ground itself in the depths of its own limits.
Good. Can you just do what lacks limits and look at this instead of the thing?
What lacks limits?
Excellent. Now it's a question. So new, what lacks limits? right? Inwardly, you have the sonu, and then you say it.
What lacks limits?
That's a bit better. Everybody, a little bit of sonu. So try that. So be a little Jewish for me.
All right, I gotta sound like my
A
grandmother.
little bit of Jewish,
What
Everybody
lacks
try it.
limits? Right.
Yeah, what's the limits, right? And then to ask the sun, what lacks limits? Right? Have that in question in you. Ready? And go.
What lacks
What
limit?
limits?
Good. So it is a bit of a question. It's also a statement, but I wanted a little bit more of that lift. Okay. And then may ground itself. Then you have the ground, may ground itself. So everybody try that.
Oh,
May
may
ground.
ground itself.
Good. And then in the depths, I mean, then you can really go far in the depths of its own limits. Your turn.
In the depths of its own limits.
Limits.
Good. All right, John, rise up in the stream. Please do that one. I can't hear you because you look like you're doing a beautiful job, but unmute.
Okay. Rise up in the stream.
Good. Does anybody remember the counter stream about rise? I'm sure I must have done this. That's right. So your imagination is up, but your voice goes down, just like if you stood, rise. Did you see that? So try it. Rise.
Rise.
There we go,
Rise.
John. That's it. Rise up
Rise.
where in the stream. Try it. And
Rise up.
Rise up in the stream.
good. And let's see, Catherine, how about as a standing wave maintains itself?
As a standing wave maintains itself.
Good. And let's see. My pencils are the standing waves. As the standing waves. Ready? And
As the standing waves maintain itself.
good. And then in emergence, existence forms itself. Go ahead, Judy.
In existence, emergence forms itself.
Good. And oh my goodness. Lisa, do I have that? Am I, yeah, I can't see that. My eyes are crazy. And you get the last line.
Limit yourself, O limitless.
Yes. And so the first line is as important, if not more, than the last one as of the first one. So ready, really be effective with this. You're telling me something here. Go ahead.
Limit yourself, O limitless.
Good. Everybody do that last line and
Limit yourself, oh limitless.
yeah, don't forget to take a breath after yourself because there's a comma. That's a breath mark. Limit yourself,
Self.
oh limitless.
Limitless.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, and
Limit yourself, oh limitless.
good. So some of you said that you worked with the verse, and some of you did not. I don't mean with the form, but just on its own. And so what would help you to be able to connect more or to work with more the verse? The form is kind of not easy, but it's something tangible. Verse is not as tangible somehow to work with it.
Be more caught up with the to-do list.
I'm sorry?
To be more caught up with the to-do list.
To work
Other
with the verse.
things.
Right. Other things come in the way. But if you're going to bother with the form, are you not going to bother with the verse? I mean, if you make time for the form, you're going to make time for the verse too.
This last month, I didn't make time for anything.
Okay, well, there you go. Catherine.
One of those.
In this case, I find that the form was more complicated. So the other verses with the form to me, that was kind of a little bit easier. But I find myself, I think John mentioned this too, is I was always going back and correcting the form and fixing the form. So it was, I worked separately on those instead of together. But the other things that we worked on before, prior to this, I was able to incorporate the verse into the form.
That's great. And are you when it's complicated like that, because some forms, all forms for me are complicated, um, do you also work with the verse or do you just stick with the form? So this past month, did you work with the verse as well as work with the form, just not together?
Right, not together, not together. And yeah, I was fixated on correcting the form too much. So I didn't really use the verse with the form. I
Yeah.
worked on the verse a little bit and worked on the form a little bit because it didn't seem as cohesive as the past ones that we worked on.
I
For
think
me,
that's
for
well,
me.
I think that's true. Even when Laura and I did it together, that was true. And it's fine to work with them separately. I guess I just want to make sure that they are accessible because you can do the same thing with a verse as you do with the form. You can go back and, in a sense, correct and correct and correct. I mean, I could spend an hour on one word. Now, of course I can, but I can, but even those who haven't had a lot of work with speech, you can engage. What are those sounds like? You can ask yourself questions, or what does that look like? Because it's all so heady. Where is that in space? So you can ask, just be curious about the verse, and that might also help engage it, like you're curious about the form. How am I going to make this so it's symmetrical, or flow beautifully? Yeah.
I think
Anybody else?
what,
Yeah,
yeah,
go
I
ahead.
think it would help me. This is Anne. If we could speak the verse all together while Laura is drawing the form. We often run out of time, I think. Maybe that's why,
Mhm.
I don't know. And Debbie, you speak it once while she's doing that. And I'm always like, oh, that's how they would go together. And so I don't really have it in me. If we could
Hmm.
do it more than once or maybe all together, that would help me.
We could definitely do that. Mary, thank you, Anne. Mary?
Yeah, when I look at this verse, I mean, many times, the more I read through it, the different meanings come out each time that I read it, which is amazing to me. But it, what would, and I find myself trying to underline the key words to really, this is where I want to land, or this is the word that needs to be in my memory to remember it. So, and I don't, so I'm struggling with getting guidance versus kind of figuring it out on my own and making, so I don't know, so that's my I guess suggestion possibly is to maybe choose some keywords that we need to like emphasize. Yep.
Yeah, I think that I do try to do that, but I don't stick with it because something else gathers momentum for me. So I will try to be more conscious with that. Lisa, did you have something?
Yeah. So what helps me is the
The
FSSH.
Fashusha. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what I embraced mostly this last month because I would just be like going out the door and do a few. And that kind of was working. So I
Yeah.
was really glad to do that. And then just like somebody said, I think if we could all unmute and say it with you and really, for me it's hearing you, but I'd like to hear us as a group too.
Absolutely. Good. Mona, did you have something too?
Yeah, thank you for everyone else's sharing. Those were helpful. One of the things that I do is I make sure that I write down the verse right next to my tracing, so they're together. So like part of like after today, I'll get organized so that every day I could just open it up in the morning when I'm having my coffee or something. And then I do it together because they are together because I organized it that way. That I found that helps me.
Yeah, I do the same thing. It's on the same page, actually.
Good idea.
Good. Thank you. Jennifer.
I just wanted, this might be a little bit of a far out comment, but I I have been doing them separately because when I do the verse or I do the drawing, they feel different in my body.
Mm-hmm.
And I found myself getting a little sort of jumbled up when I would try to do them together, right? Like drawing, I don't know, it like evokes something, a certain thing in me, but then often the speaking, right? Like this one has a lot of L's and it has just like a certain feeling inside that didn't to me necessarily correspond with all the twists and turns of the form. And so I've just been doing them separately and I hope that's okay.
Absolutely. You take these up. My whole hope is that you take them both up, that, not just the form drawing, or I would say not just the speech, but that would be unusual if somebody just took up speech. So it would the have them accessible is my hope. However that is. So doing it together is there's a whole inspiration that Laura and I have. I don't know anybody else who has done it this way, that works with form drawing and speech in this way. We started working together and we went, oh, speech is form and speech comes out of movement. And so that was the impetus of this. But it's it's this inner movement. And if you want to separate them or play with them, putting them together, nothing is wrong here. So that's great. And I would say, Mary, that I usually go for like the sound or whatever that theme is. I don't usually of that month. So you'll see the N is, the sound that we're going to be working with today. Um, so I don't usually go for meaning because, matter of fact, I never go for meaning, because most people can go for meaning. So I go for the movement of the sounds or the movement or the imagination of that. So I'll have to think about how to do both
It is
because
an
it's,
interesting movement of the sound. I'll pay attention to that. I just wanted to make a small request, John. I really appreciate that you have sent things out to us. It's really helpful when you send out that verse for us. So if you can keep doing that, that would be great. So thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for the feedback. I feel like it's very important to check in with this. S- Creative speech or what? Yeah, somebody's gonna say something. Go ahead.
One more thing, just the images that you just gave us, the sun and the pencils for the wave, those will help me.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm just curious about what it is that changes when your voice becomes so rich, not mine, but yours. And I listened to a little clip of the Guthrie Theater in Minneapolis put their auditions online, and it was, or their lines, so they were already in, and their voices just were so beautiful. So they're trained. I don't know exactly how they got from A to B, but
In Knowledge of Higher Worlds, um the first line is, everyone has the capacity
hmm.
to delve into this world. Everybody has the capacity to be able to free their voice.
Mm-hmm.
And in freeing their voice, that's where the warmth comes. That's where the change comes in. You're embodying the sounds, you're using the so I talk about the four pillars of speech. You're working with the imagination. The sounds, all the words come out of movement. That's the second pillar. The third is sounds. The sounds have our beings that have their archetype of movement and like color and experience, and then breath. And so working with those four pillars of speech will bring you to those capacities to free your voice and embody not just through your head, but through your whole being what you're saying. So, and that's what we get a little taste of when we do these verses. Okay. So we just did that one. And what is your name? Laura?
That is my name.
That is your name. Would you would you like to do the form, or should I do actually stand up and do some speech with everybody?
No, I think we should begin with some speech and then I bring the form that goes
Yep.
with it.
I
Yep.
love that. Okay. So everyone stand up, please. Well, you don't have to. I should invite you to stand up. I encourage you strongly to stand up. Okay, so we're in the water. So I just kind of want you to be in the water a little bit with the fish. You know, Pisces is a little in the water. And just feel that movement. Because as I said, all sound comes out of movement. Now, the sound for Pisces is an N, like in never, not, no. There's this real movement between earth and the spiritual world. Boom. So imagine you are walking towards the beach and you're all of a sudden you put your foot down and the sand is very, very hot. So you've put your foot down. So I'm going to use my hand because you can't see my foot until I get the new camera that I just found out about. So you're going to put down your foot and go, you're taking a step, N, and then to the next step. So try it with your feet because this is a feet sound or a foot sound. N, N, N. Now that's hot, right? Your foot is hot. N. So you're kind of more in the earth, and then you kind of jump up. Now you're going to the cold sea, and the sea is very cold. Or as I was talking to somebody about Lake Superior, I was born right next to Lake Superior, so it was always cold. And so put your toe into the water. Nah, it's a different feel. Try that. Nah, nah. And so this end sound, we have it somewhat in the verse, but if we have that experience of this um, to kind of awaken yourself in the moment, in the earthly moment, and then to boom, the future. That's kind of what the end does. Um, it awakens and grasps the moment and then brings you into the future. I kind of love that. So try imagining that with the N as you just say N, N. Go ahead, move about. Good. All right. Yeah. How does that feel inwardly? Now you can unmute.
It's uplifting.
Yeah. Yeah. And you go too far up and you'll go away. But then if you really go back to the next end, that'll land you again. Yeah. So before you do this verse, you can do a little of the N, N. Go to the sea or the sand and grasp that sand and grasp the little pebbles on the rock if you're on Lake Superior and put your feet in and feel the N, N, N. Okay. And then because this this verse is forlorn, losing, finds itself in what is lost. That forlorn, losing, finds itself. I mean, that's just so bizarre, isn't it? This really, 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 I don't. I don't get it. So I'm going to go for the sounds. Ooh, forlorn. And get the N in there. So just try forlorn.
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 Yeah, it's like, oh,
Forlorn.
that even though it's an
Forlorn.
F sound, you're not getting much fire in there. Forlorn. Let's get a little more breath in there and see if we can get it a little not quite so forlorn. Forlorn. I don't know
Forlorn.
that you can. Forlorn.
Forlorn.
Good.
Forlorn.
What a weird word. All right. Losing finds itself in what is lost. So try that. Losing
Ing
finds
finds it itself
Self
in
in
what
what is
is
lost.
good.
Losing finds itself in what is lost.
And that's a sun line. So if you imagine the sun behind you, forlorn, losing finds itself in what is lost. And maybe just like a stream. Let's try it that way. And forlorn, losing finds
Losing
itself
finds itself in
in
what is
what is
lost.
lost. Good. In what is won, the winning trails away. Hmm. You see why I don't do the meaning, Mary?
in
For
what
me,
is won,
good.
the winning
What
trails
The
away.
winning trails
beautiful.
away.
And let's just do oh, trails.
Trails.
See if you can roll that
Trail,
R. Trails away.
rails away.
Right? It's really
Trails.
great to take a word and take the vowels out, speak the sounds, and then put the vowel back in. We do this in middle school all the time because what are middle schoolers doing? They're always mumbling like this. Well, everybody does mumbling. So you take the vowels out and then they can't mumble because they have to speak each sound. It's a great teaching tool. So, um, in what is won, the winning trails away. Your turn.
In what
In
is
what is
won, the
won, the
winning
winning
trails
trails
away.
away.
Good. In what is grasped. Try that.
In
In
what
what
is
is grasped.
grasped.
Good. So we're going to take my candle and we're going to grasp the candle. In what is grasped? Try it.
In what
What is
is
grasped.
grasped.
Now it's like going to the laundry. Seek the grasping.
Seek the
Seek
grasping.
the grasping.
Good. And then the next part. And what is kept? The keeping. So it's a k. So you see, there's not a lot of N's in here. And what is kept? The keeping.
Keeping.
You try.
And in what is kept the keeping.
And in what is kept the keeping.
Good. Through becoming, rising to what is that?
Existing.
Thank you. I couldn't do it. Through becoming, rising
Rising
to existing.
existing.
Through becoming, rising
Rising
to existing.
Yeah, when you do the rising, make sure you remember that double rising. Go ahead, rising. Rising to existing.
Rising to existing.
Existing.
Good.
Rising to
Through existing, interweaving. I love the interweaving. Through existing.
Existing.
Interweaving, becoming.
Right. So interweaving, becoming takes a lot of time. If you're weaving something, if you're and we look at that form we did last month, right? That interweaving of that form, and then it becomes this beautiful thing. So that takes time. You have to fuss with it. So fuss with it before you say it. interweaving, becoming.
Becoming.
Try that.
Interweaving,
Becoming.
becoming.
Excellent. Loss itself can be won.
Can be a win.
Be a win. Thank you.
Yeah.
Loss
Us
itself.
itself can be a
Be a
win.
win.
Yes. Wonderful. One more time. Loss
Loss
itself.
itself can be a
Be a
win.
win.
Good. You can tell that I'm tired because my dyslexia is in overdrive. So thank you for helping me out on that one. So we'll go back to that, but if we just lose ourselves in the sounds and the rhythm and don't worry about the words, forlorn, losing finds itself in what is lost, and kind of swim like the fish with it. In what is won, the winning trails away. In what is grasped, seek the grasping, and what is kept, the keeping. Through becoming, rising to existing, through existing, interweaving, becoming, loss itself can be a win.
Can I say a word for the meaning?
Yes, you may, John.
Thank you. Think of the etheric movement that you're doing. You're trying to become aware of the movements in your etheric body. And how can you do that? You put what's lost over there and you find your etheric body moving in the forlorn losing. And the movement, the forlosing, finds itself by putting that thing over there. The same thing in what is won. You're winning something. But once you've won it, the etheric movement, the winning trails away. What is grasp? Seek that grasping, the etheric movement in every verse like this. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that.
And isn't that what I was just doing?
Yes.
I was doing that without putting the intellect for it. I love the intellect. It is a wonderful thing. But often we use it instead of using our whole being. So I'm grateful for the intellect, and I hope you can work to embody that through this movement and the imagination. And we'll work with it some more after Laura teaches us the form. Your turn.
Okay, so as you can see, maybe I have drawn the structure of what we'll need to draw the form. The circle is part of the form, and you may certainly use a compass for the circle if you like, or a a plate, whatever works for you, or you can do it freehand. And then I have drawn 4 diagonals to make 4 pieces of pizza, so to speak, here. There's a lot of glare on my chalkboard. Sorry about that. The light has changed since we started. So.
I'm wondering if you did it in yellow, does that help any or not?
Yeah, it might. I'll try using it doing it in a lighter color. Let's try pink.
Yeah, that lightens the blue up enough, I think, that it gives it a little contrast. Thank you.
Yeah, it does help a little. Yeah, I think that's better. Oh, good. So when you have your circle divided into 8 sections like this, would you just give me a thumbs up and I can go ahead and continue with the form? Thank you, Catherine and Anne.
How do you do it?
Thank you, Debbie.
There.
There's a little
There.
heart called react.
Yes, you could also just put your physical hand up.
Yeah,
Judy.
just give me your thumb like this. That's fine. You don't have to give me any technical thumb. A real thumb is good. Okay. All right. So I've drawn these lines very prominently, but they're really not part of the form, but they will help us to draw the form. And I'd like to start by doing on the horizontal and vertical lines, making dots fairly close to the center and equidistant from the center. And that will help us draw what we need to draw. And I'm going to show you the form so you can get kind of an idea. So here is the form that we're going to be drawing. And the first part we're going to draw is this line, the line that has a 2 here. Well, we've drawn this circle, but anyway, I think it's a 2. Yeah. Okay, so you can see it has these 4 heart shape, sort of heart shapes, but they're not truly heart shaped, you know, not the conventional heart shaped form because it's just indented here. And in form drawing, there is something protective about that. There's a meaning of protection in these kind of pillows. I think of them as pillowed hearts. And we're going to draw 4 of them and then connect them just as you saw. So you might want to do this, you know, at the near the circumference, but not on it, at those 4 compass points, north and south and east and west. And then drawing the hearts is pretty simple. And we draw 4 of those. Okay. And then once we have done that, let's erase the vertical and horizontal lines because we don't really need them now. We're going to be using the other two, the diagonal type lines. They'd be 45-degree lines. Okay, so to combine these four hearts, or to put them all, you know, in a line, so to speak, we will connect them this way. And we end up creating a kind of square at the center. And then we would be able to draw the lines, the whole line, in one continuous go. We would be going the other direction though for tracing. Yeah, we'd start this way. This is 1 and 2. Okay. So let me know when you have got this far, and we'll do the other line, which would be superimposed on this one. Just give me a thumbs up this way. Your real thumb is fine. Unless you want to give me a techno thumb, that's fine too. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Debbie. And Jennifer, I saw your thumb. Mona, did I see your thumb?
So,
Oh.
Laura, I
Okay.
guess I have a quick question. So you want it to look like you currently have it with like the other lines erased and just the,
Because we
right?
don't really need them anymore. We had these two lines across here to sort of help us draw these hearts, because I wanted
Okay.
us to have the, you know, points of the hearts, you know, in line with each other. Now we don't need that, but we'll
Okay.
need this. We'll need those lines in order to draw this
Okay.
next. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, sure. All right. So a lot of you showed me your thumbs, and I'm going to just go right ahead now. And we're going to put the 4 dots on again, but now we're going to do them outside. See this little diamond that we've made at the center with this line? Like that. We're going to put the dots outside of that a ways. And we'll end up creating a pretty kind of star in the center with that. And now we will also put dots close to the circumference of the circle, but not on it. The whole form should be, you know, floating freely within the circle. It's not touching the circumference. And then once we have these pairs of dots along both sides of each diagonal, like what I mean is this side and that side, and then this side and this side. Once we have those, we have the tip and then the bottom of those leaf shapes that I was showing you before, which I will show you again. Whoops, there we go. So we've drawn the dots that go with this point and this one here for each of those. And now when we draw them, we need to make sure that they're fat enough, they're chubby leaves, that they cross over those hearts like that. It doesn't have to cross over a lot, just a little is fine. But it does need to intersect. Kind of covers that. On each of those. Looks funny, but I'll fix it. And then once we have our 4 leaves, we can carefully connect them. And we have now a square, in the center that connects those. And we can erase those diagonal lines. Okay. And now I've changed the direction of the second line because I had made a mistake. Sorry. So I am correcting that now. And we're going to go over it with blue, a blue that doesn't have any green in it, preferably. So you can use the Lyra number 10, which is an ultra, it says it's called ultramarine. And also the Prismacolor number 933. It's darker, a darker blue than the Lyra number 10, but it also doesn't have any green in it. And there's a cobalt I have found that is also by Lyra, but it's associated with that Rembrandt panoply of colors. And the cobalt doesn't have any green in it that I can detect. It seems like a good color or a good blue for this kind of work. There's my blue. No, that is not. Hang on. Here we go. And we just trace this, the circle first. And then we do the hearts and do that whole line. And then we do the leaves. And then we would do it, all over again a couple of times. Yeah, when we're working with it. And the quality that is brought to us with this form is the quality of love or magnanimity. Magnanimity. Becoming love.
Laura, is the circle also the same blue or was it a different blue? I forgot.
It's the same, but I have so much pink on here that it looks different, but it should be
Okay.
the same blue.
All right. Thank you.
I'm just going over my pink and it looks a little different that way. And the trees carry those virtues from the higher beings, the tree spirits. And I'm not talking about elementals, I'm talking about very exalted beings who are the carrier of the virtues. And the tree that is associated with this form is the rose.
It's also the color, the rose red.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, you mean the color that's associated with the verse for the month?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
And
Laura,
I
do you
am.
mean the rose family? Because there's so many trees that are part of the rose family, but I don't think of a rose as a tree.
Um, no, and it's a very cultivated plant, right? It's very different from the elm, for instance. So it has had a lot of human influence, but not just human influence, because humans and the higher spiritual beings work together. And the rose has been cultivated for quite a long time. But it has a special, a different quality, say, from other trees that are associated with the forms that we've done. So,
You
yeah,
don't
so
mean the whole family.
no, I don't. Like the whole lily family or the whole rose family. No. So this
Oh,
does not represent all fruit trees, for instance.
right. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Mhm.
And while we're doing that, and you all are still working on it, the motto for these constellations, they come from the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven in the parable and true form that Steiner gave in 1912. And I don't always bring it, but I thought it would be, it really goes with the N. It usually does, but it's the human being recognizes the spiritual world, and that is the motto. So thought I'd bring that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you say that again?
Yeah, maybe Laura, would you mind writing it?
I don't mind at all.
Um, human beings, well, it's man. I'm trying to change it. The human being recognizes the spiritual world.
And you're calling that a motto?
It's called a motto, and it's from um, the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven in parable and true form. And it was given in Cologne in 1912. And maybe John, or I'll just put it in the chat. How's that? What's that reference?
It's in parable and what did you say?
It's in the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven in parable and true form.
I can put it in.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And I also wanted to share that I was given a part of a psalm that goes with this, which is Psalm, this is just for meditative work, if you like, Psalm 5, verses 11 and 12.
I just have something to share, if that's okay.
Sure.
Um, one of the things I've been doing in the winter is taking a bath in rose oil. So now I'm really going to think about the verse when I'm in the rose oil bath.
I love it.
Right. Very nice.
Well, sure. I mean, what is Pisces, right? It's certainly the love. Um, Traditionally, the fish. Roses and love and hearts.
And the dates
The dates of what?
of Pisces.
Well,
February 21st to March 20th.
Thank you.
And you can think of this bath as an oil dispersion bath also. If you know what that is, you drop a drop of rose oil in swirling water, and what you get is little bubbles of water, each coated by a layer of rose oil. And in that it's a dispersion bath, it doesn't float to the surface. It stays in the whole bath if you have such an apparatus.
Can you spotlight the form for a minute, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
How's that?
Okay, so is it important that the diamond and the square intersect the same points?
No, actually, it doesn't really matter that much. In fact, if you wanted to weave it, it would be important that they not intersect at the same points, but we're not weaving the line, so it's not that big a deal. If it does, if they do intersect, it's okay, but they're not meant to really.
Okay, because I think I will draw it again, and I wasn't sure because yours kind of do, not exactly, but they do.
Yeah, they're not really supposed to. This
Um,
one, you could, there's a little, yeah, it almost looks like it's coming through on the camera, but anyway, it isn't.
I mean, it all depends on where the points went for the bottom of the hearts, right?
Yeah. Well, yes, it does depend. And in relationship to the points at the bottoms of the leaves also. So
My
if you,
leaves had to be really fat to make this work because I thought it had to be the same size. Okay, thank you.
so I'm wondering, it looks like some of you are done. So the ones that are done, that's lovely. Can you look at the verse and see if there are any words that you would like to explore? Because we have some time, and then we can do the verse together and with the form and the da 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 da. So are there any words? I'll read it one more time. So you just what snaps out at you, what jumps out at you is the word. Forlorn losing finds itself in what is lost. In what is won, the winning trails away. In what is grasped, seek the grasping. And what is kept, the keeping. Through becoming, rising to existing, through existing, interweaving becoming, loss itself can be a win. Anything jumps out at you that you would like to play with a little bit? Are you
I don't
curious
get
about?
forlorn losing. Is that somehow a noun?
I
An
I agree
adjective?
with you. I don't get it either.
I'm wondering if there should be a comma after forlorn, for example.
no, I don't think so.
No.
No,
So
No,
the
for
losing is
forlorn,
a noun?
yes, it's a noun in the
for,
German. It's clearly verloren, so it's very similar. Im Verlorenen finde sich Verlust.
So pretty in German.
Thank you. I don't suppose you'd like to put the German in the chat.
I
Would you?
can.
But it also comes when John sends the
Yeah,
text. He sends it in German.
I will send it.
Yeah. So, anything else? Jennifer, I saw you. No?
Yeah. So it feels like the verse sort of has an axis place, which is to me or my ear, the word seek,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then it's sort of like it becomes more dynamic. It feels like a little bit more compact, a little bit more, like arising. Whereas before that, feels like this.
And that's excellent. Almost every Steiner verse does this in the third line.
Mm. Okay, that's fun.
Yeah, yeah. So well done. Well done to
And I
feel that.
noticed in her gestures and also in yours, Debbie's, a lot of There's a lot of especially in that one line. In what is one, the winning trails away, but in the whole verse, and that's a very English sound, and it's not often that used, is it? And in the end, interweaving loss itself can be a win. I don't know. Do you want to say something about what?
Well, the w is a warm sound. You can feel it on your lips. W. Um, and that, when you're dealing with translations, you're dealing with translations. And so as good as John is as a translator, that it's difficult to find the same rhythm and the same sounds, which is with Steiner verses, he really focused on the the sounds and the rhythm. And so we can only kind of feel it. If you speak German, you can do it in the German. I think it's fine to work with the sounds in English. I think it's absolutely important to do so. The W gives you this wave,
Yeah.
right, of the weaving. So it gives you this feeling, this motion, this etheric motion that John was talking about, the movement, and it builds, as Jennifer said.
And there is no sound w in German. They can't say it either. It's very hard for them to learn to say
I
it.
know it's a V. Uh-huh.
Well, in the German, there are V's and W's. There's 10 of them in the German verse, 10. And of course,
Wow.
W's are pronounced more like a V, but
Yeah.
there's V's and W's, 10 of them. So when you say this in English with the hua, think think the V.
So the V is a fire sound. So you have this v, you have the warmth, the fire, that is, it's just a different intensity of it. But I also always think of it as this kind of, even though it's not an L, which is a water sound, it's kind of feels between that to me. Um, anything else? All right, well, let's try it. Maybe that I will speak it with watching Laura, and you all just watch me and watch Laura as I speak it. And then I'll speak it again with Laura, and you can do it on your own, and then we can do it all together. How does that sound?
Great. Can you highlight Laura?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and you can. All you have to do is pin her.
Oh,
That's true. Yeah.
I
You
don't
just
know how to do that.
you, okay. John, you want to spotlight
It,
Laura then?
it will be spotlighted on this thing that is sent. Yes.
So if you go to speaker view, um, Anne,
Yeah.
you'll see her. Okay.
Yeah. I'm on speaker view and I see you.
You see me.
Yeah, because you're speaking.
I see.
Right up to the right of everybody's name, there's three little dots. You push those dots and you go down and say pin it.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go for it, dear.
All right.
Forlorn, losing, finds itself in what is lost. In what is won? The winning trails away. In what is grasped? Seek the grasping. And what is kept? The keeping. Through becoming, rising to rising to existing. Through existing, interweaving, becoming. Lose itself can be a win. Okay. You all want to try tracing it while I do it? Okay. Laura, I'm going to follow you.
Mhm.
Forlorn losing finds itself in what is lost. In what is won, the winning trails away. In what is grasped, seek the grasping. And what is kept, the keeping. Through becoming, rising to existing. Through existing, interweaving, becoming. Lose itself, loss itself can be a win.
I went the wrong way.
You did. I was going, what did you do?
Sorry.
That's okay. I would say that I would like to, that forlorn losing finds itself in what is lost. In what is lost, won the winning trails away. And then this next part, in what is grasped, seek the grasping, and what is kept, the keeping. I broke it up too much, and I think that I wouldn't do that. I would keep it much more of a flow on that one. Okay, do you all want to try saying it together?
Yes.
Well, Anne certainly does. The rest of you there too?
Good. You're good.
All right, let's do it. All right. And listen, it's going to be different, right? We all are going to look at it and say it differently. That's okay. Okay?
Forlorn,
Forlorn
lose,
losing finds itself
itself
in
What
in
what
is
is
lost.
lost?
lost.
in
In what
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 is
is
one
one the
the winning
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 trail
trails away
away?
in
in what
what
Is
is grasped.
is
Seek
seek
the grasp
the grasping,
grasping and
and what
and
what
in
is
what
is
is kept
kept the
the keep
keeping
keeping through
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 becoming
becoming,
coming rising
rising
rising to
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 existing,
existing
existence
through
through
existing,
existing
existing
interweaving
interweaving,
becoming
becoming,
oops
becoming
loss
lost
loss
itself
itself
self Can
be
be
a
a
win. Did you do all 4 leaves?
I did.
Well, we lost that last. There was an extra leaf on there with us.
So would you say that the first 4 lines would be, well, the first line is the circle, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And then the
Oh,
next
yeah, that
3
works.
lines are the hearts?
You know, I think you have to play with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's really, you could do the whole circle could be forlorn, losing find itself in what is lost, in what is won, the winning trails away. You could do that, could be a circle. What you really want to work with when you're working with the form and the verse together, if you do that, is the movement, just like in speech. Movement always comes first. Gesture, inner gesture comes first. And so it's like when you watch your rhythm, you'll see them move and then you'll see the speech come. You want to have that movement first. It's just speech, movement into speech. It comes out of your fingertips when you're doing it with the form. It comes out of your whole being, but it has to move through it. There's no right or wrong. It's just a matter of moving through it. And as if some of you are like, find meaning through the different words, I'd love you to bring that back next month and let us play with those together. Yeah? Okay. Well, I think we did it. You did a beautiful job.
Yes. Thank you so much for your good work.
Mhm. Very nice.
Your sharing and your comments make everything richer.
Absolutely. And if you have anything you want to ask, just holler. I'm on the other end of the Zoom. And so is Laura.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
And then there were 3. Oh no, Mona's still there. Hi, Mona. I don't think she means to be.
It's Mona's hand.
Huh?
It's Mona's hand over the camera.
Uh-huh. Um, you know what I was thinking? I guess that the verse is the verse at the end. Because we start with the verse, but we don't end with that verse.
We should stop the recording now.
Mm.
Yeah. If I stop recording.